There we go. Now it should be working. Out. Yeah. I'm preparing the YouTube one. Should be up now. If anyone's on YouTube and they're hearing me, say hi. Just say hi. Or hello. Whatever you want. You are free, guys. You are free. There you go. Now we are on the on YouTube. We got Jakuf Kotwika and Rush Vincing. Marianne Art 1. What are you gonna do today? That's a good question. That's actually a really good question. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna start the full camera here, guys. What's up? Hello. What's up, guys? Yeah. So I really don't know what we're gonna be doing today. It's been a tough week, to be honest. Not a bad week per se, but just a tough one. So my brain is quite foggy. My energy is quite low. I might not be as expressive as other things. No, nothing wrong. Thankfully, nothing wrong. It's just one of those weeks, you know, where things are a little bit more difficult than other weeks. No, it's funny because I mean, work is going good, family is great, hobbies are cool. So it's just, I don't know. It's just like this week was weird. It was a weird week. A weird week, so to say. Let's see. That is a nice pronunciation of my name. Nice. Where are you from, my friend? If I would guess, it's probably like Europe, but I'm not sure. One of those weeks with... Nah, I do check Reddit every now and then. But, I try not to get too wrapped up. I mean, the World Cup started yesterday. I'm not a huge fan of football, but we enjoyed watching the first game. Mexico won, so I'm happy for that. Tom 97, Poland. Nice, Poland. Hello to Poland, all the way over there. I don't know. What should we do, guys? What should we do? I mean, we can continue with the retopology of the character. That's, of course, something that we can do. We can just, like, try sculpting something or modeling something. Some people have asked about, like, traditional poly modeling techniques, like box modeling stuff. We can do that. Franny, what's up, my friend? Happy to see you here. We got New Way as well. Nikhil BFX. We got Supercos. You know what would cheer me up? I've told this story before, but here, let me show you. Talking about Reddit. Several years ago, this was back in, back in 2012? No, 2013. I think it was either 2013 or 2014. I got into the Reddit's Secret Santa. Reddit's Secret Santa. It's this thing that they do where you send someone else a gift from all around the world. And I got this freaking thing. If there's anyone from Norway, you guys know what this thing is. It's called Getost or something like that. This was my gift, right? Like from my Secret Santa. And the first time I saw it was, what the hell is this? Is it supposed to be like some sort of cheese, but it doesn't look or taste like cheese. It's more like what's the word? Like sweet, like a sweet. It has this very, very intense taste at first, but if you warm up a piece of bread, like a toast, and then you spread a little bit of this on top of it, oh man, I got like a block, like it was something like this. I actually think it was this one right here, or like one of this ones. And I like saved it for like 2 months, just trying to enjoy it as much as possible. One of these things right now would cheer me up, definitely. One of these guitars. But you can't get this here in Mexico. There's no way. What's up, Sarn? We got Sarn here on the house. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, guys. Backer draw as well. We got Abhishek Hexonovane. Love from India. Love to India, my friend, as well. Let's see. We got a couple of questions. Says, how can we improve our handwriting as an artist? Like, we as an artist can make awesome artworks and all, but our handwriting is... yeah, tends to be like, my handwriting sucks. There are like handwriting exercises, man. Like, as with almost everything in the world, the more you do this, the better you're gonna get. So I know there's this kind of things right here, right? So you can practice cursive, you can practice, like, I know this is for kids, but there's nothing stopping you from doing it as well. So if you want to get your, like, better at handwriting, like this kind of stuff can be perfectly good. These exercises, like, these are exercises that you do quite a bit when you're learning how to write and also how to draw. Like, if you're ever learning how to draw, you're gonna be doing like a lot of like lines and curves and things like that, shading. So all of that stuff, it's just practice, right? Like, just getting comfortable with the control of your hand. A good pen or a good pencil is also important. That's something that I've learned quite a bit with time. Good tools, like having the proper tools, is very important. Of course, you don't need to go and invest on having like the best tools out there. But there's a very big difference between like shitty entry-level tools for any hobby, by the way. This is talking about every hobby, or everything that you want to learn about. So it's not the same to buy like super cheap like brushes, for instance, if you want to learn how to paint, than it is to buy some like a little bit more premium ones. Like, you are gonna have a better experience. You're gonna enjoy the process a little bit more. Yes, it's a little bit more pricey, of course. If you can't afford it at this point in time, that's fine. But tools do make a difference. Like, I remember when I was drawing, it was not the same to be drawing with a specific type of paper that was very coarse or very smooth than it was to do with like Canson paper. So Canson is like this very big brand, right? So Canson paper, it's really good, and this is like professional like drawing paper. So if you were trying to draw and you want to get some like smooth, soft results, like, this was the way to go. Is it more expensive? Yes, it's definitely more expensive. Do you always need something like this? No, there are like cheaper options that are also good. For instance, there's a store in the US. I love going to this store. It's called Blick, and Blick has like every single art supply that you can think of, like every single type of paper, every single type of paint, every single type of everything, and they are all over the country. I actually went there when I went to GDC this year, and I bought this like it's not a moleskin, it's another type of what's the word? It's another type of notebook. But yeah, like having good materials is important. Like, try to what's the word? Try to invest a little bit on that, especially on some techniques like better draw, as he's saying here, with like watercolor and stuff. That's it. We have another question here. Says, sorry, I'm not sure if this is the question you have been asked before. If you or any studio were to be looking for a junior assets and environment artist, what would you expect from them to have skill set as a junior for AAA or indie game studio? Maybe that's a great question, man. That's such a good question. So, and actually, I made a short this week, and it got a little bit of like, pushback, because it was a sensitive topic, and I was talking about that, like, right, like the expectation that we usually have as artists when we are applying for a job. Here's the thing, there is a minimum level of fundamentals that you need to know as an artist in order to get hired as an artist, right? Like, so in the case of a modeler, for instance, I would expect you to have proper knowledge of topology, proper management of UVs, proper bake procedures if you're going to be working in games, proper texturing, like ideas. I don't expect you to be a master at texturing, right? Or a master of any of these things, but you need to know how to do like the basics of these things right here. Especially in modeling, for instance, you need to show me that you know how to model like complex elements. Like, it's not the same to be modeling a barrel, which is relatively simple, than it is to modeling, I don't know, like a walkie-talkie, or like this sort of like advanced sci-fi or hard surface element. So being able to show that you can model complex elements is really, really important. Other than that, if you can have good presentation as well, right? Like, if you know the basics about like rendering, we covered that, of course, on the portfolio rendering workshop. That's gonna be a plus for your element. But it's very, very common, and I don't like doing this too much, but I feel like it's a good sort of like a way to explain the situation. If you go to ArtStation and you go to latest, right? I'm not gonna single out any of this ones because I don't want to call out any artist that's not like submitting their stuff for portfolio review. But if you go to Latest, even if you're like a beginner artist or like a junior artist, you should be able to tell which of these pieces are like studio ready, like which of these pieces are ready to, or which of these artists are ready to start working at the studio, and which of these artists are on the early stages of their journey, right? Again, I'm not gonna point or single out any one of this because I don't want to call anyone out, but there are some of them that are very basic, that are very simple, that are not showing all of the things or all of the fundamentals that as a recruiter or as a studio I might need to really showcase or to really be a part of a team, right? That doesn't mean that you can't get there. Of course you can get there. It's everyone is working, everyone's learning, everyone's improving, right? But there is a point where your skills might not yet be at that level. That doesn't mean, and this is very important, that doesn't mean that there's no opportunities for you, because there have been situations, I've done that myself, when there's a lot of work, for instance, on the studio, and I need to hire a lot of people, and I might hire people who have skills that are a little bit under the level that I might require, and I will train them just because I need more people, right? Like we need more hands. However, right now, at the current state of the industry, you guys have seen this, there's layoffs, there's studios closing, the situation is a little bit complicated. That means that there's a lot of like mid-level and senior level artists who are out there looking for work as well. And because of that, well, you're competing against that type of portfolio. So if your stuff is not up to that level, well, you need to sort of like get up, like push it up and try to get there. My God, this is so cool. Pancake turtle. I love that. I kind of want to do that. Oh, this is such a cool style. Satoshi Matsuda. Look at this. Very graphical. Reminds me a lot of what's the word? The guy who made Hellboy. Oh man, I don't remember his name now. It's so good, man. So cool. Anyway, let's see. Let's give me suggestions, by the way, guys, about what kind of like stuff should we do today. As I mentioned, this hasn't been the greatest of weeks, so I'm a little bit low on energy. My brain's a little bit foggy, so if you can give me any advice of any like technique or thing that you want to look for or that we should do, that would be great. Otherwise, we'll just continue with the retopology of the character. Let's see. I'm a character artist and I do clothing on Marvel Designer. I would like to expertise on that area. What courses would you recommend me, or where should I keep studying? I mean, it depends on how good you are with Marvelous Designer. If you're just starting with Marvelous Designer, we do have a Marvelous Designer course that you can check out. But if you're not, you definitely need to start like looking for more advanced Marvelous Designer stuff, where they go over more like interesting, complex like clothing, right? What do you think about the rookies? Do you think someone who wants to get noticed by the industry should? Yes, definitely. I'm not sure if you should participate on the competitions. Like, I'm not sure how often they have competitions, but competitions are really good. We're actually preparing one ourselves, so hopefully we'll get more information about that soon for you guys. But yeah, like someone was asking, what's the benchmark? The rookies are the benchmark. Like, this is the level that students all around the world are submitting as part of their portfolio. So for instance, if you want to be a character artist, like, this is the level of character that you need to be able to produce. Are there things to improve on this character? Of course. I'm not gonna, again, like call things out right now because I was not asked to do that by this student, but this is a really good one. Like, if I'm looking for a character artist, like a junior character artist, and I need him help with like doing like NPCs and things like that, this right here shows me that this person knows the necessary skills. He has the necessary skills to be able to deliver this kind of stuff. Of course, while we're working on the project, he is going to be, or she's going to be, learning more about like specific things that we might need. But this gives me a good understanding of his or her current level, right? So if you want to see what the level should be for you as a junior artist, check the rookies. The rookies is a really, really good benchmark on the kind of level that you should have as a character artist. Like, let's say like this one right here. This is from Edson FX 19. Oh, it's a Let's see if we can find like a hard surface model. There you go. So for instance, this one right here, it's a little bit more of a hard surface organic model. So again, is this like the best model that we've ever seen online? Of course not. It's like it has a couple of things that can be improved, but it's a really good model. The presentation is very nice. The idea is very cool. I love the car idea, and it's complex, right? Like modeling something like this is not easy. So being able to deliver things at the quality that you see here on the rookies is usually a good way to know whether or not you're on the right track for your portfolio. Oh, love this one right here. I've been sort of like liking this kind of like stylized stuff more and more as I get older for some reason. Let's see. ¿Puedo hacerte preguntas en español y tú responderías en inglés? Sí. And yes. Yeah, if you make questions in Spanish, I can answer in English. Let's see. I remember when Blick was formerly known as Ultrek. Ultrek, interesting. Ultrek is that's a CD, right? From Europe. I know it because I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I've been playing Pokemon TCG nowadays, and there was a championship not too long ago over there. Let's see. Hey Abe, I've been watching you on YouTube for a while now, and I want to send you my portfolio for the next portfolio review. What day is live stream, and is it possible to watch the recording somewhere later? Yes, that's a good question. So this month is gonna be special, guys. Actually, this month and next week we're gonna have portfolio review. Normally we have portfolio review at the end of the month. So that will be on the 26th, but because this month is our anniversary month, we're gonna be 3 years old here on YouTube. It's been 3 years since we started like creating content and producing all of these things. We're gonna have our special like anniversary celebration on the 26th, so in 2 weeks. Make sure you tune in because there's gonna be surprises. There might be some giveaways as well, so yeah, it's gonna be a fun one on the 26th. So therefore our portfolio review is going to be next Friday, so on the 19th. So somewhere randomly on the next couple of days, especially on the on this like middle of the week, like maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, we don't know, randomly we are going to be opening up the submissions on our Discord channel. So you need to join the Discord channel. You need to be checking the information here. Let me show you. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Here. So if you go to our Discord channel, which is this one right here, and you go down here to the showcase section, we have the portfolio review section, and randomly again in the next couple of days we will be opening the portfolio submission. You just click on it, read the rules. Very, very important that you read the rules. We have a couple of like recommendations and rules that everyone needs to follow in order to be considered for portfolio review. Otherwise, your submission can be removed. So just read the rules, and that's it. Leave a little message there about who you are, what you want to do, and submit your portfolio. If you do that, you will be featured on the next Friday on the next live stream, and you are gonna be like we're just gonna showcase your stuff, right? So yeah, how or where can you watch this? We actually have a second channel called Leal 3D Clips, I believe. Yeah, this one right here. So this is our second channel right here on YouTube, and what we do is we upload everyone's portfolio as a separate video, so they have a little bit more, like a spotlight. So as you can see right here, we got Umang, we got Cheyenne, we got Red Rodriguez, Samuel Bavistar. So every single one of them is going to be uploaded as an individual portfolio, so that you can share it with your friends. I don't know, like go over it again, and this is where we're gonna have all of the information. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Hey, if school took away Marmoset, what? School took away Marmoset toolbox licenses from the course syllabus in order to cut costs. Do you have any advice, or is Marmoset not necessary in the industry? You're gonna get me killed here, man, because we got our good friend from Marmoset here on the chat. So I'm gonna be honest. Marmoset is an amazing tool. I can't see myself doing the work that I do without Marmoset. I use it for presentation all the time. I use it for bakes all the time. Texturing is really strong. We actually did a video a couple of weeks ago about like the texturing comparison between Marmoset and Substance Painter. However, if you can afford it, definitely get it, right? If the school is not providing it, that's a little bit weird, to be honest, because usually schools get access to like educational licenses, which tends to be a little bit more simpler. I've been using Marmoset again for the past like 13 years, but I would tell you, especially as a junior artist, I would probably focus a little bit more on substance right now, because texturing like is at this stage probably more important than the like super specific bakes and presentation things. Like you could potentially do this in other softwares. Marmoset is just gonna make your life so much easier. So that's my opinion there. We also have, I believe we have a code. Man, I don't remember where the code is. Let me see if I can find it. Because we do have a code that you can use if you are going to be buying or subscribing to Marmoset. Let me see if I can find it. Here. Yeah, so I believe it should still be on this code. It's a 50% discount for the license. It's Leal 15. So Leal 15. I believe you can use that one if you wanna get Marmoset. Solid Mango, thank you for the resub, my friend. Thank you. Let's see. Do you think the character art is beneficial for long run? Because I watch Jay Hill, and he does stuff like proper professionally long run, kind of also healing in California. So maybe. So that's a good question. Here's the thing. Character art is a very specific part of the whole 3D pipeline. I can tell you from my experience, my personal journey, not all of the work that I've done has been character. I have a preference for characters. I like to do characters, but character art is not the only thing that I do. For instance, there's a project that we've been working on with a local museum for the past couple of months. I did no characters for that one. Like there's no characters on that project, and I'm like the lead 3D artist there, right? So I'm doing environment stuff. I'm doing props. We did the wagon, right? Like that we used a couple of like weeks ago. So even though it's not it's just a niche thing, right? So there's more stuff about the 3D world other than just characters, and it's important that you understand that. I usually compare this to like the lead singer of a band, right? The lead singers of bands are the ones that usually get the most recognition, right? Like everyone can recognize the voice that is singing the songs, but it's not something that is as easy to get into, right? Like there's a lot of competition, right? Because it's a very sort of like sought out after like position. So if you are willing to go through that like competition, go for it. Just keep in mind that there's a lot of people out there that also want to be doing character art, right? So therefore, again, like the competition is gonna be a little bit tougher. However, can you make a living as a character artist? Of course. Like there's a lot of like positions that are going to allow you to do that. It's just more competitive than other things. My advice: learn a little bit about everything and be flexible. Like maybe you will get into a project and you're going to be doing like textures, right? You're not going to be like modeling or sculpting like anything in particular. That's fine as well. And maybe in another project you're going to be doing, I don't know, like environments or props. So there's so many like options out there that you could potentially like be a part of. That code can be used to switch from Armor 4 to version 5. I'm not sure, but give it a shot, maybe. They do this thing every now and then on the Substance like a side where they give a discount to those who want to jump from a previous version. They did this recently, like 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. The code doesn't work. I'm not sure if it's for like the perpetual license or if it's for like a subscription. I'm gonna have to check, but if it doesn't check, I'll ask our friends at Marmoset to see if they can give us another code. New Waymaster says, hey Ev, I really like to see some environment art workflows. For example, you could show us more of the pipeline for creating a prop, turning it into a modular kit, texturing, and so on. You missed that stream. We did that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, just look on the live streams. We literally did that a couple of weeks ago, where we did a wagon with like a wood kit or something, and that was it. Yeah, and that's a great point. I am on Oni says indeed there's a lot of indie teams looking for character artists. Because think about this, guys. Think about like your favorite game. Let's just think about, for instance, God of War, right? Like the one that got announced recently, which looks amazing, by the way. If you take a look at that, how many characters and creatures are you actually gonna have on the game? I'm gonna argue that's probably gonna be something around 50, maybe 100, right? Maybe 100 characters. But how many props are you gonna have on the game? How many pieces of environment? How many like worlds? How many like crates, barrels, things like that, right? Like there's thousands of those. So you need more people working on the environment side of things than you need them on the creature and character side of things. I enjoyed both. Like I would be happy doing any of them, to be honest. Like if I'm in the project, I love doing any of them. I of course personally prefer doing characters. It's a lot more fun. But even if you're in the character art position, you're not always doing like the character from scratch. For instance, you're gonna get a base mesh and they want you to do variations on the cloth, like a different skin or a different like I don't know, like something, right? So that's why I tell you guys to be flexible with the type of projects. I always mention that for me, 3D is like a language. If you learn how to do 3D, you can adapt that language to so many like different things on the world, right? Like you can do, again, like product renders, you can do animation, you can do modeling, you can do 3D printing. Like there's so many industries out there that use 3D as their base for creation. The other day I was talking with someone who works on medical illustration, which is amazing. Like they do medical illustration for like doctors and congresses and things like that. So they'll do renders and animations and a lot of like 3D stuff, but everything revolves around, again, like medical like stuff, right? Which to me feels like really cool. So yeah. Pablo the boy says, I super appreciate the advice. Me along with any other student, we're excited to learn it. It extra sucks too because it was advertised by the one we taught. They just increase the course fees, but do you think it's warranted to make a link? Yeah. Oh man, that's a tough one. So there is a big thing that I've been seeing on the education side of things on the 3D world. A lot of schools are suffering from the situation that's currently happening on the industry, right? Like they have lower amounts of enrollments because people are saying that it's getting tougher and tougher to break into the industry. And they're, of course, trying to find ways to cut corners. So I don't blame them. I understand this because everyone wants to, of course, make a living out of this, hopefully by also helping others create their own path in this industry. So I would yeah, like I don't think a complaint is really like necessary. I'm a huge sort of like proponent of trying to find like common ground before just like going guns blazing and trying to to cancel people, right? So talk to them. It's like, hey guys, I this is what we were promised. Like let's find the middle ground. Let's find a compromise. What can we do? Like maybe they won't be able to offer the license, but I don't know. Maybe they'll offer like more training or a specific like type of like something. I don't know. Like there's ways to find, again, like common grounds with people. So just talk to them. Definitely discuss this and try to figure out how or yeah, like try to figure out the best approach to something like that, right? So that you're happy, because if you're paying like a good amount of money, and I'm guessing you are, it's of course important that you feel like you're getting your money's worth out of whatever it is they're teaching you or you're learning from them. Let's see. I don't want to flood the chat with the same question again. Can you see this comment, Ave? Pride. Let's see. Yeah, I can see that comment. Pride is, will you be able to come back to my retopo question when you start retopologizing? What is your... is there a setting to change the distance of your retopology brush in ZBrush? I saw a trick where you can use dynamics of the... Yes, so... here, let me show you. So let's grab the retopo brush here. Boom. So the tricky thing about the Retopo brush is that it has two sizes, right? So right now I'm in the main size, and if I press the spacebar, I'm in the sort of like the analysis size, let's say it. So if I'm on this size right here and I press the letter S, I'm gonna make this smaller, and this is gonna allow me to, let's say, create new Retopo mesh. There you go. This is gonna allow me to start like placing my dots, right, for the retopology. If I press the spacebar and I need this thing to look for a bigger area, I need to press the spacebar and then keep spacebar pressed, and then hit S and then make this bigger. That's how you change the size on the on this one. So that's again like the finicky part about the Retopo brush, that you're gonna have two sizes. Normally what I like is this first size right here, the one that draws points. I like to make it very small so that I just draw points where I need them and I'm not like moving anything or whatever. And then this one right here, depending on the size of the squares that I'm working with, I will make it either bigger or smaller. So that's how I would approach that particular situation right there. Does that answer the question, my friend? I hope that answers the question. Can you change the snap distance from the mesh? Yes, you can, but I don't remember where. Not sure if it's in preferences or something. There is a way to change the distance. I recommend you check the documentation or the live stream where they showcase this tool, because I honestly don't remember how to change that, but there is a way to change it. I can maybe talk to one of the ZBrush guys and see if they want to come into a live stream and they can show us a couple of more like interesting tools. Oh, let me show you a very cool tool here, guys. This one I was taught recently here. So you guys know how we have the chisel brushes, right? And the chisel brushes are really good for like hard surface stuff. Here. So chisel brushes are really nice because they give you a really sharp like a line, really sharp corner. So you can just like go and then like keep going here and then keep going here. But one thing I don't like about the chisel brushes is the fact that if you're drawing a line and then you stop and you're drawing a new line, sometimes the depth right there is not working perfectly, right? Like you get like that horrible little thing. And if you try to smooth it, of course, we lose some of the sharpness of the element. So here's what we can do. I am going to actually go here and store a morph target. So I'm going to go here to morph target and store morph target. And by storing a morph target, now if I draw a new line, as you can see, like this brush is like, it has something that makes it work better with morph targets. So as you can see, if I start like starting again, the depth, it doesn't matter how intense or how soft I press the brush, the depth is always working in the same depth, and I'm gonna be able to have like a cleaner like section line. So if you wanna again like use again like this guys right here, as you can see right there, it doesn't matter if I stop or start again, they're always gonna be to the same depth. If I don't have that thing, sometimes if you go like very thin or very strong, like the element's gonna be different. But again, with morph target, it sort of like keeps it together. So really cool tip right there. If you're doing hard surface stuff, I really recommend that. That's one option. And another option that you can do is also thick skin. I'm going to talk about thick skin more later, but thick skin also allows me to make sure that when I apply this thing, it always keeps the thickness, or in this case the depth of the element, at the same depth, right? So as you can see right here, I can add all of these lines and none of them are going to go either like further down or further up than the thickness that I have currently enabled right here. Thick skin is really powerful for this kind of details. So yeah, definitely play around with some of those to get better results with your with your chisel brushes, because chisel brushes can be a little bit finicky because of that like connection. But yeah, I really like that one. Let's come back here. This one, let's delete. Just finished my Torii Gate. Can you wish me luck for the Oni project? My friend, I wish you the best of lucks. It is a tough project. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, the Oni is an ambitious project. It does take quite a bit of time to go through. So be patient. But I can guarantee that if you follow all of the necessary like things that we go over on that course, you will be learning a lot about ZBrush. So yeah. Good luck on the Oni there. We're just doing a crazy alien today. I just wanna like get my energy out and find or create something interesting. What's up, Jade Visuals? Let's see. Missing a question. Can anyone in this comment section recommend laptops that can handle 3D modeling software? I'm trying to get into it and I'm not sure what could handle and have really good performance. That's a good question, Leandro. We've done like computer like things. So usually if you look for gamer laptops, you're gonna find again like good things. So let's see. What you usually want to go for is a laptop that is, of course, not super expensive, right? Like you don't want to go super high on the price, but you want to find something like, yeah, like this. This is a good one. Let's see how expensive it is. Oh, it's not available, so I don't know the price. But for instance, this one right here, I would say it's a good sort of like entry-level laptop, because it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is good. If you can get more, of course, that's even better. So 16 gigabytes is going to give you good performance. It has, like, very important, this, like, if you're going to buy a laptop, I don't recommend laptops, by the way. Like, if you need to travel, of course, or move to school, whatever, well, nothing we can do about that, right? But if you can work or focus on a PC, like an actual like big PC, you're gonna get more bang for your buck, right? So I actually have one of this, I think, not this exactly, but like a TUF, the Ultimate Force. So you need to make sure that your laptop has a dedicated graphics card. That's the biggest pitfall that people fall into. They buy a laptop and then they realize that they don't have a graphics card on its own. It's integrated on the CPU. You do not want that. Like avoid those like the plague, because you're not going to be getting the performance that you need, especially for things like Substance Painter, things like GPU rendering, things like the Unreal Engine, right? If you're doing simple modeling into the Blender or whatever, like it's fine, but you want this. You want a GeForce. You want an NVIDIA GPU. I would definitely recommend an NVIDIA GPU rather than AMD. And I mean, the 450 is fine. It's like the entry level one, right? But if you can go a little bit higher, like a 4060 or 4070, that's going to depend on your budget. So try to look for a good amount of RAM and a good like NVIDIA GPU. I would not recommend anyone getting a laptop nowadays that is of the 3000 series. That's very old at this like day and age. So try to get a 4000 series or a 5000 series if possible, and that's gonna last you a little bit longer, because that's the problem with laptops, right? Like after a couple of years, they just like stop working. They become sort of like obsolete. And with the PC, you can just like swap components out. So if you want to upgrade your RAM, or if you want to upgrade your what's the word, the CPU or whatever, you're gonna be able to do it. With laptops, it's very, very difficult. You can upgrade a couple of things, like you can sometimes add a couple more like gigabytes of RAM. You can sometimes add a couple more like a better like SSD or something like that, but it's not super common. Go for another bite. The guy that started really insistent. Yeah, I strongly also recommend an NVIDIA GPU for laptops. Yep, computers can be very expensive nowadays, unfortunately, with the chip shortage and all that stuff. Be careful with the TUF models. Yeah, do your research. It's funny because I love doing my research when I'm getting like a new piece of equipment. Like I'm really intense about that. And I've heard like stories about every single brand. Like every single brand has like really good experiences and really bad experiences. So just do your research. One of the things that I would recommend is look for a brand that has good customer support. So people who will like really help you out if there's an issue with your machine. When I was really young, I actually had an Alienware, and it was like the worst experience ever. Customer support was nice though, like they were quite helpful. This was the time where Dell acquired them, so the customer support was happening through Dell. But I had such a horrible experience with that laptop, and it was an Alienware. Like it was a little bit pricey, right? So you would not expect that to be happening. I have a Legion now, thank God, and Abe for getting me work ready. Yeah, you're welcome, my friend. The laptop works really well, but maybe AMD might be better. The CPU is very intense and although, yeah, I like AMD's or Ryzen like CPUs better than Intel's, to be honest. But for graphics cards, NVIDIA all the way. I heard MacBooks for Maya and Houdini is really good. I've never used an Apple device like CPUs. I love the iPads. I love the iPads, but for computers, I've never used a Mac. Are you planning on making a full realistic character code, something like your hand painted codes? But yes, it's on the plans. Not sure exactly when. Not sure if it's gonna be like the next one or some of the ones this year. We're already working on something, guys, by the way. Don't you think I'm I'm just scratching my belly over here. We're working on something cool for you guys. But as you guys know, it takes time. I heard the MacBook, yeah. ZBrush Retopo on iPad is so underrated. I know it can be a little finicky, but it's such a great puzzle to do on the go. There's one app, right? I'm not sure if you've tried it. I haven't tried it. I think Vector you've tried it. It's called... It's from the Sparseal guys. Oh my god. Cozy Blanket. Cozy Blanket. Have not tried it, but it's supposed to be really good for retopologizing. And recently they announced that they're adding some sort of like AI retopology things. I'm not sure if on the iPad version or if on the what's the word, on the PC version. It looks fine. Like it looks interesting. So yeah. Can you do some podcasts with artists across the world like Jay Hill does and Blender Girl also does it? I'm not sure. We've thought about that. We thought about like doing other types of content, but we haven't had a lot of success with some of the other stuff. Like for instance, I've tried doing like gameplay videos. We've played some games here on the on stream, and we never get as much interaction or as much thing. So I feel like I'm just gonna stick with this right here. I do want to bring more people on the channel though. I definitely want to bring more people and interview them and have them share a little bit of their experience and stuff like that. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have like interviews. We did one earlier this year with Ethan Detroit. He is currently working as a BFX artist for Riot. He taught me how to do a little bit of BFX instead of Unreal. Very, very cool. And he was sharing, you know, a little bit of his experience, right? So that kind of stuff, definitely want to do more of that. Am I using... No, I'm just winging it. I'm just sort of like designing my own character. I'm thinking this is like an old man, kind of like alien. I don't like the jaw though. It's got like a very intense jaw, so probably going to like clean that up a little bit. Let's add the eyes. Greetings from Algeria. I'm an engineering student. Do you recommend this field as a career path? It depends. How is the field in your country? If your country does not have a big like entertainment field, like if movies and games are not a big thing over there, I would probably not recommend it as much unless you have the ability to what's the word? To migrate, right? Like if you can move to another country where there's a little bit more work, then sure. But it's this is a field that's very dependent on the local industry. Like you need to have a strong local industry to be able to support this. So I can tell you again from experience, here in Mexico, we have a very small entertainment industry. A lot of the work that I do here in Mexico is not very entertainment heavy. I mean, we adapt it to the entertainment things, but we do a lot of like training for companies. We do a lot of like just like educational content, right? Marketing stuff, advertisement, that kind of things. Here in Mexico. For other international clients, I do a little bit more of like the traditional entertainment stuff. Good afternoon, Wolf Girl. How are you, my friend? Happy to see you over here. What advice would you give someone trying to get their first environment artist job today, considering the lack of junior positions? People say indie and AA studios are a good place to start, but they're often hard to find on sites like LinkedIn or Station. Their websites are invisible. Yeah, so as you mentioned, the best way to start, guys, especially in this day and age, is with an indie studio. Like look for indie studios, and there's this site, I've mentioned it before. There's other sites, by the way. There's people who have like spreadsheets and things like that, but work with indies is a really good one. And if you click here on art and animation, there you go. Look at this. You guys are looking for Unity 2D artist, UI UX, animator, character artist. Look at that, Cakefish, concept artist. Let's see, animator, 3D weapon artist, hero asset. That sounds pretty cool, right? 3D modeler, skins, outfits. There you go. Another one. Let's see, 3D character technical artist. That's like riggers, I think. 3D artist right there. Some of them might be a little bit higher on the expertise that they're looking for, right? Like that one's looking for a lead 3D artist, so you do need to have some experience. But you might be able to find something here. Again, like I know there's not too many, but you can subscribe to newsletters. Check. There's people out there. I don't know any one right now at the top of my head, but there's people out there with like, again, like spreadsheets and things like that, where they share this kind of like information with the world. So So you might want to give it a shot right there. That kind of stuff. What's the difference between inserting and appending a subtool? I'm new to ZBrush. That's a very good question. It's very simple. If you insert, it will be inserted below whatever subtool you currently have selected. And if you append, it will be inserted at the very bottom of the stack. That's it. That's all the difference. Like, other than that, the function is exactly the same. It's just where it places it. Whoa, we got a donation here by Arner Nissen. I don't know what currency that is, but thank you. Thank you very much. It says, I'm a game programmer who has done 3D on the side for the last 10 years. I know the basics and technical stuff like Blender, Maya, Substance, but since I've focused on programming and not 3D, I'm just a bad artist. Any tips on how to improve? Start with a small task. Like, what, first of all, decide what you want to do, right? Do you want to do characters? Do you want to do props? Do you want to do environments? Like, what is it about the 3D world that really resonates with you, that really speaks to you? And once you have that, it's important to start focusing on the skills, like learning the foundations. Here's the thing, you're a programmer, right? Like, if you're a programmer, I already know that you have a very sort of like organized way of going through information, right? So that's the same thing for art. A lot of people think that art is very like feeling oriented, or you need to be like motivated. No, it's like any other skill. Like, if you have a specific workflow, if you have a specific what's the word, approach to things, you're gonna like improve and you're gonna learn quite a bit. So in order to do that, we need to figure out what kind of stuff or what kind of skills you want to focus on. And once you do that, then you start learning the individual things that you need, right? So for instance, if you want to do modeling, you need to learn about subdivision workflows, like how does modeling work properly. If you want to do environments, well, you need to learn about like proportions, design, that kind of stuff to like properly place things in a world, right? So it's about like skills. Like, you need to start like learning all of these skills and all of these like elements, and little by little those skills are going to give you the necessary information or the necessary preparation so that you can tackle whatever it is you want to do. So for instance, right now on this character, right, like I'm just like, again, like sculpting whatever. Like, I don't have a specific idea. I'm just letting myself be creative here and just like trying to create something interesting. But I know anatomy, and I'm using anatomy knowledge right now to place some of the muscles here on the mouth. I know a little bit of design, ideas and things. So I'm trying to think about like an interesting silhouette for this character, something that's going to be very visual, very obvious inside of a game or inside of a production. So all of those things you learn by practicing on smaller things, right? On less ambitious projects. And once you dominate those less ambitious projects, that's when you can go in and create something a little bit more interesting. Yeah, but see, like someone saying, "Oh, it's impressive how quick you are with it." Thank you, but this is the thing. Like, I've done like a lot of this alien, so I actually don't like the mouth right now. I'm just gonna clean it up and let's figure out something different for the mouth. I really don't like. I always do that kind of like shape, and that's another thing that as an artist you need to be aware of. You need to try to not do the same thing every single time. So let's figure out something a little bit more different. Yeah, that looks a little bit more interesting. Like, that silhouette looks more interesting. Thank you, Marios Anaktoridis. You guys in Greece, you guys always have like really intense names. I love them. What type of music do you listen while you're sculpting? So right now it's chill hop, which is just like basic lo-fi stuff. But when I'm working, I really like this like covers of songs that are really sped up. Nightcore, it's called Nightcore. I know, it sounds very weird, but that's the kind of music that really allows me to focus. I'll listen to game soundtracks as well, like a little bit of everything. I don't think I'll ever be good enough artist to do characters. I'm pretty decent at hard surface stuff, but I cannot limit it when it comes to anything else. Everyone can be everything. Like, you can be a really good character artist if you put your time and your effort towards it. But I agree with something there, and this is something that a lot of people tend to neglect. There are natural talents or natural things that you are going to be better at. And a very smart thing to do, professionally speaking, is to focus on those things, right? And I give you a perfect example in myself. I discovered relatively early on in my career that I was good at teaching. And people really liked the way I taught and the way I explained things and the way I linked concepts together. So it's like, hey, if I'm good at teaching, it would be like very stupid from me to ignore that and not do a little bit of teaching on the side, right? And that's how I started teaching. The moment I realized, hey, I'm good at teaching, like people will feel like I'm good at this particular skill. Well, use that skill to your advantage. There's I don't remember where I read this, but there was this very famous thing where imagine we all have like skill points, like in the game, right? Like in an RPG. So maybe you have 10 points in strength, and you have 5 points in charisma, and you have 12 points in intelligence, and you have like similar to D&D, right? So you have your spread. Like when you're born, due to where you are, the kind of like things that you resonate with, we all have our specific skills. So if you have, let's say, 5 in strength, and you want to be a power lifter, it's going to be very tough for you to bring your level to a high level because you're already starting at a low amount of strength, right? So I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying you're not exploiting your right talent. However, if on the charisma side of things, you're at a 10 and you can be, I don't know, like a public speaker or a salesman or something like that, well, that might be better like for you because you're going to be able to push that skill further up than someone else who is lower at their points, right? So that's something that's important to understand. Like if you already know that you are like very skilled at some specific parts of this world, right? Focus on that. Like play to your advantages, as they say, right? Like don't try to be someone that you're not. Like figure out what you're really good at, what you really enjoy, and invest on that. Because if you do that, then the odds of you being more successful are better. I have 15 points in cooking. There you go. Yeah, there you go. This really gives kaiju vibes. Oh yeah, it does, right? That rotated. There you go. You can look a little bit more older by just rotating him a little bit. Whoa. Yeah, that's a wild card, right? Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I like that rhythm and stuff, like that speed. I've heard that it can be because of a little bit of like ADHD or something, but never been diagnosed, so I wouldn't know. Patrick 4D had more points in cooking in 3D, so yeah, exactly. Patrick 4D is an excellent example of this. Patrick 4D, for those of you that don't know, look him up. He's an amazing 3D artist, an amazing ZBrush artist as well, and his niche is food. He does food. Like, that's all he sculpts, and that's all he does. Could he be doing characters or weapons or anything else? Yes, I'm sure he could, because he's really good at the softwares as well. But he found that he was really good at the food side of things, and that's what he is like, focusing on. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with finding a specific niche and just going for that. Society tends to tell us that we need to be good at everything, and that's just like it's just a very bad way of handling things. It's just not ideal, in my opinion. That's fine, man. That's fine, Arnie. So if you're a programmer and you want to get better at 3D, that's great. Again, figure out what parts of 3D you like. Like if you want to be better at modeling, start learning about modeling. Start like doing some tutorials, some exercises. Try to model a car, for instance. That's like one of the big challenges for anyone who wants to get into modeling. And understand that maybe you won't be like the best modeler out there, but you don't even need to be the best modeler. That's another thing that people tend to ignore. You don't need to be the next like Rafael Grassetti if you want to be a character artist. Like, he is one of the best, if not the best character artists out there, right? You don't need to be at that level to get a job. Like, there's a bunch of jobs, opportunities, and options where just being really good or good enough is going to open up doors for you. It's like I give this example quite a bit. I know it's a sort of like a weird analogy, but bear with me. Think about the best basketball players. Let's say Michael Jordan, right? from what was it, the Chicago Bulls, I think he played on that one. I'm not a huge basketball player, so or basketball fan, so if you guys can correct me. But Michael Jordan, right? Like, we all remember Michael Jordan. We all know he was one of the best ones. Kobe, another great one, right? LeBron James, Shaq, right? So all of those guys were or are one of the best like basketball players we've ever seen. Can you name at least like 3 or 4 of the teammates that they had when they were at the peak? Can you? I can't. Again, I'm not a huge basketball player, but most people, they know who Michael Jordan is. But if you ask them who was Michael Jordan playing with when he was at his peak, a lot of people can't say that. However, those other players were very good players as well. I mean, they were playing with Michael Jordan. They were not Michael Jordan, but they were playing at the same level as him, right? They won the championships and the tournaments as well. So my point is, we tend to focus a little bit too much on who, like the specific persons who are on the top. And we don't realize that there's a lot of other people who are at the top as well, or at a very high rank, that might not ever have the same amount of fame as the very, very big names, but that doesn't mean that they're not successful players or successful artists or successful whatever, right? Same thing with singers, same thing with, again, like any type of like role that you can think of. We tend to remember the very big names. Like, you think about singers and people might think about Taylor Swift, who sells every single seat on every single concert she does. But I would argue that if you are making a living by playing your music, you are already a successful artist. Like, yes, you're not as successful as Taylor Swift, but again, Taylor Swift is 0.00001%, right? So it's the same thing here in the 3D world. There's a lot of artists out there that are making a very good living, that are enjoying what they do, they're being parts of amazing projects, and you will never know who they are because they don't get that like fame, let's say. So don't think that fame is the only thing important in this world. Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen. There you go. Yeah. Like, some of you guys, of course, are like basketball fans, and you're going to be able to name them. But tell that to a regular person, and you're never like it's impossible, right? Same thing for 3D. Like, tell anyone, like even like a super fan of the games, right? Like, who are the main artists or the main leads on the creation of their favorite games. Most of them don't know the names of the artists. That's just the way it is. So we tend to set the bar a little bit too high for ourselves, and we tend to pressure ourselves a little bit too much. And that's what I want you guys to try to not necessarily avoid, but just don't stress too much about it, if that makes sense. What do you think it takes to become Raf Grassetti, though? Do you think it's mostly luck, or there's a level? No, there's definitely a level of dedication. If you've ever heard like the interviews, I mean, that guy has been doing 3D for like 24 years or something like that. He did like traditional sculpt before that, so he is like fully committed. But yes, there is a luck factor involved to it. There is being at the right place at the right time, right? So there's a lot of effort. But yeah, like the circumstances are gonna change. I mean, I can tell you this. I've gotten that. Like, I've gotten like some really, really mean messages about about what I do here, about content creation. Like, people are like, how the hell do you have so many subscribers? How the hell is your community so cool? How the hell are you able to like create all of this content? It's like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to like make a living out of this and enjoy the process, right? Like, I just like and love 3D. I love teaching about the 3D world. I'm just doing what I want. I can't tell you what it is that is allowing me to do this in these specific ways, because there's a lot of factors out there. But one of the factors that I can definitely tell you is, yeah, hard work. Like, you definitely need to do your part. Like, if you do your part, success might not be guaranteed, but if you don't do your part, I can guarantee that failure will be guaranteed, right? So it's one of those things. Like, you need to put your money where your mouth is, as they say, right? Like, you need to do your part. You need to be actually like creating or doing something, and success might come. If you don't do it, success will definitely not come. What's the famous quote? You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, right? I think that's the quote. So yeah. Hi, Ave. Hi, everyone. I have a question. Do you know of any websites, communities that do monthly contests or themes for projects I could follow, check up to get ideas and to push myself? I don't know any community that do like monthly contests, to be honest. Like, I know the rookies, they have their contests every now and then. We do our contest. There's this other one. What's his name? He does this like the 5-second contest with animation and stuff. The Punisher, something like that. Don't remember his name. I think that's one of the biggest contests, and he does, I believe, 2 of those per year. There you go. Art of Math is saying that Polycount has a bi-monthly challenge, so you might want to check Polycount. Oh yeah. Everything, man. Everything that we do, every failure, every success builds up who we are. If there's one, like, I do think I can give you guys one advice that has helped me quite a bit in my journey as a human and as an artist. And that is, be 100% honest. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. Just be honest. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I want to do. That's it. Because the moment you start pretending, the moment you try to trick people, the moment you try to lie to people, you go into some really, really nasty places. So just be honest. Like, this is what we can offer. This is what we can do. This is what I can help you with. This is my journey. Just that. Just be honest. I know our society benefits quite a bit from people who are very fake, unfortunately. And people fall for that, right? I would recommend against that. I know it might not give you a lot of the hell is that? Keys is stuck or something. But yeah, like just be what's the word? Just be honest. I spoke to Ren from Corridor Crew once. He told me Maya sucks. Never watch them again. Nah. That's another advice I can give you. You will hear a lot of opinions. You will hear a lot of like advices. You will hear a lot of like quotes and things. You don't need to obey. Like, don't follow anyone blindly. Like, I'm telling you right now, don't follow me blindly. Like, use my information, and if some of the information that I am giving you helps you, awesome. But if there's things that I'm saying, or the things that I teach, or things that I share that you're like, no, Abe is completely wrong here, that's fine. Again, like, I'm just sharing what I believe is going to help people, but there might be things that you won't agree with, and that's also perfectly fine. We don't, like, there's no right or wrong answer in a lot of things in life, to be honest. So you will find your own path. You will find your own solutions. You will see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Get as much information as you can. Like, that's one of the best things that we can do as humans. The more information we have, the more informed our decision is going to be. So you're gonna hear people say, "Oh yeah, go to school, take a degree on 3D," and you're gonna hear people say, "Don't go to school, the degree is a trap," and then you're gonna hear people say, "Don't go into 3D, 3D is a trap." We have a very famous quote here in Mexico. I'm gonna say it in Spanish for those of you who speak Spanish. Todos hablan de cómo les va en la feria. Así, that's the phrase. I'm gonna try to translate it, but it says everyone will tell you their opinion based on how they did, right? On their own journey. So if they had a horrible time at school, they're going to tell you school is worthless. If they had an amazing time at school, they're going to tell you school was the best thing that could have happened to them. It will be different for you. I can't tell you what that will be because everyone has their own journey, but everyone is going to have. Of course, if 10 people are telling you don't go to that school in particular, yeah, you might want to listen to them, right? Again, that's the information side of things. Like, the more information that you get, the nicer or the more informed things are going to be for you. Sonor MK says, "Hi, cheers from Argentina. Saludos hasta Argentina. Question: do you have course or tutorial about how to import my character mesh and replace the character in Unreal with my character mesh?" No, I don't have that. It's not that difficult. But I don't have that. I don't have that. I should do that. We should do that sometime. I mean, the problem with that is you need to do a walk cycle. You can remap or retarget things, and it's gonna look okay. But if you want it to really look good, there's a lot of work involved with that. But yeah, there is. I mean, it's relatively simple. It's just that the construction for the whole thing is technical. It's very technical. Let's see. The more information we have, the more information we should have in the future. Yeah. Opinion is like assholes. Everyone has one. Yes, that's right. Yeah, everyone's gonna have their opinion, and it's fine. It's fine to listen to opinions, but be sure not to let yourself be what's the word? Affected by those opinions too much. At the end of the day, you need to build up your own opinion. That's, I would say, one of the beauties of our life. The fact that everyone's gonna be able to build their own opinions. Here, I'm gonna share like something personal with you guys, and some of you might be a little bit surprised about this. I've been married for the past 7 years, right? 7 years? 7 years. Yeah, this year we had our 7-year anniversary. And when I was getting married, I had some friends, quote unquote friends, that told me, don't get married. Marriage is it's like the worst thing you can do. You're not gonna get anything from it. It's not a good, because they had really bad experiences, right, on their own like marriages. And here's the kicker. I married my first girlfriend. So my wife, she's the only girlfriend I've had. Like, I met her, I knew she was the one, right? She knew I was the one, and we got married. And I've gotten people throughout the years telling me, oh man, like that was a mistake. Like, you shouldn't have married the first girlfriend because you don't know if there's anyone out there who is gonna be the one, right? It's like, no, dude, like I knew she was the one. I was very lucky. It was like I just immediately knew she was gonna be the one, so I just went for it. And we've had like an amazing 7 years. We have an amazing kid, so it's just like that's one of the parts of my life that I'm really like proud and happy about, right? But again, that's the thing. Like, everyone's gonna have their own opinion. Like, I know people out there. Like, some people might be like, "Oh no, like you didn't even like check if there's other people out there who you're gonna be again like having a good connection with." Like, yeah, I know. Like, I will never know what it means to have other girlfriends, right? But I don't need to, because I made my decision, and that's what I wanted to do. So that's the thing again about life. Like, you guys are gonna make some decisions, and you will not know whether that was a good decision or not until you actually live through that decision. Sonor says, it happened same to me, and I'm so happy. 21 years with my wife. There you go, 21 years. That's amazing. Be open to people who are genuinely trying to help you. Yes, that's another one. Like, you, I know it sounds very, again, wishy-washy, but you can definitely tell. Like there's vibes, right? Like, when you meet someone and that someone is like the energy is not vibing properly with you, right? Like, you're like, I don't know. You know no, like that's not the right place to be. That's not the right deal. That's not the right business, the right direction. That happened to me, for instance, when I was looking for my school. I've mentioned this before. I graduated from Noman, and I had 3 schools on my mind when I was like trying to decide where to go. One of them was Full Sail University in Florida, I believe. The other one was BFS on Vancouver Film School, and the third one was Noman. And what I did is I did my research. I looked up their curriculum. I looked up their facilities. I talked to people and I asked them about their opinions. And eventually I realized, you know what? Like, Noman feels like the best fit for me because that's the kind of style that I like. That's the kind of like elements. For instance, BFS was very Pixar-like. Full Sail was a little bit more film as well. And I wanted to do, you know, this sort of like more realistic, grungy games and characters. And Noman was the one that resonated the most with me. So yeah, that would be one of my advices for everyone. Like, if you are going to be making a decision, a big decision, do your research. And if at the end you're very confused, I know it's gonna sound very horrible. Well, not horrible. It's gonna sound very wishy-washy, but just follow your heart, right? Like, follow your heart and learn as much as you can from that decision. How do you manage the balance between your 3D and YouTube stuff and your family life? Balance? What's balance? No, seriously, there's no balance, man. There's no balance. You try to make it work. So with my wife, for instance, we have a specific schedule. She's a therapist. She's a psychologist. She's got like a master's and everything, or a PhD actually, and she usually takes care of her patients in the evening. So I work roughly from like 9 a.m. to like 3-4 p.m. Like the bulk of my work is usually between those hours, and then in the afternoon I take care of our kid, right? It's my time to be in the house, doing the house stuff that everyone needs to be doing, and she is with her patients. And if I can, that's why, for instance, for me the iPad is really helpful. So if I can, I'll do a little bit of sculpting or painting or whatever on the iPad. I have my laptop downstairs in the common area. So if I need to do a little bit of work, I'll try to do it there. But most of the time, I try to fit my whole work on the early time of the day. And then during the early time of the day, I try to divide my work between my work as a teacher, my work for YouTube, my work for the studio. So yeah, it's just about trying to organize your time frames as best as you can. But it gets tricky. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely gets tricky. If you're gonna make a training about how to import custom characters inside Unreal, just let me know. I'll be happy. Yeah, I will. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'm not sure it's on the like soon to be done things. I mean, I can show you. I can show you something real quick here. Let me just. Yeah, I like this long neck. I think you've done... The worst thing about opinions is that a lot of people confuse them with advices. You can say your opinion about anything, but that should be it. Yeah. Your opinion is just an opinion. That's it. And opinions can be wrong. Another thing I would say is, ideally, you want to listen to opinions from people who are related to whatever it is you're talking about. So, for instance, if I start giving you my opinions about, like, geopolitics, don't listen to me. Like, I know nothing about geopolitics, right? So I don't it would be very stupid for me to start talking about that because I don't know. I can tell you the little things that I know, but I would not be an informed opinion, right? So ideally you want to hear from people who are at least informed on whatever area of expertise they're trying to talk about. Let's see. The psych influence I can see here where you're teaching is a good thing. Yeah, definitely, right? Yeah, I've learned a lot about the psychology as well. It's funny, and this is again, the interesting thing about the world. Everything that you do, everything that you learn will help you somehow. So, for instance, my dad, he works as a consultant for companies, and he goes and teaches, things like teamwork, communication, conflict management. He helps build specific pipelines and systems for companies to improve and to have better KPIs, I believe they're called, like better numbers, right? So that's what I grew with. I grew with a lot of that stuff on my house, right? Like how to figure out the best ways to approach a specific situation, and that kind of stuff, of course, helped me with learning about teaching. So he's been a public speaker for what, 30 years now, 40 years. And I learned a lot about that from him. So every single thing that you are living in your life will somehow change you as an artist, and it will influence the kind of stuff that you do. It will influence how you approach certain things. It's it's a little bit of everything. It's fun. That's an annoying question. No, there's no annoying questions. If you stop doing 3D for a week or two, do you feel like you fall off a bit? Do you need to keep your skill? Yes and no. If you learn it properly, if you really learn the steps and the different things about the pipeline or whatever, you're not gonna forget. Yes, there's a little bit of rustiness that can happen, right? And you need to sort of get back into the zone to continue doing your stuff. But no, you don't really lose all that stuff. It's like riding a bike, right? Yeah, it's like riding a bike. Once you learn it, you don't really forget it. Mary Mayhem, thank you for the sub, my friend. Thank you very much. If you're gonna it's like that. Okay, I was gonna show you that, right, in Unreal. So actually, let's do it with this character. It's gonna be fun. So this is a little bit technical. Bear with me. But it's gonna be fun. Oh, God. Let's see. Save this on the note. Wow, let's call this alien test. Now we need to export this. I'm gonna export this. It's gonna be a little bit heavy, but not that heavy. And let's go to Have you tried Instamat? It was said that it was supposed to be a free competitor to Substance Painter. I haven't gotten it. I tried it. It is powerful. I didn't understand the what's the word? I didn't understand most of the way the interface was laid out and stuff. It's a good option. It's a good option. It is a good option. Let's see. Warm-ups are always good when you haven't done art for a good bit. Yeah, yeah, definitely. What do you think about... yeah, ZBrush for iPad is really powerful. Is it better than Nomad? It's a really good competitor to Nomad. If you're already paying for your license on ZBrush PC, then you're already... you have access to ZBrush for iPad, so might as well just use it, right? Because you can communicate, send stuff between them very, very easily. So that's why I really like about that. But if you don't have ZBrush for iPad or ZBrush for PC, Nomad is a very powerful alternative as well. Okay, so here's the deal. This is the file that I use with my students to teach them like multiple different things. So it's a mess. There's a little bit of everything. But if I hit play right now, we have our character, right? So this character lives inside of something called the 3D character blueprint. So if I go here to the blueprints, there you go. This is what's driving the character's movement and everything. So as you can see, we have the input mapping, camera input, movement input, so everything is right here. If we go here to the viewport, you're gonna see that this has multiple components. So this is the capsule component, this is the mesh character component, this is just an arrow component for me to see, and what I can do is actually replace this character component, right? So if I just import Alien real quick, if I just input this Alien test right here, you can see we have the mesh. What I can do is literally just drag and drop this here. Where this? It's probably gonna be like really, really small. Yeah. So I'm gonna make this bigger. Rotate this. Let's push this up a little bit. There you go. And now technically I can actually just like parent this to the capsule, and this mesh character right here I can delete it. Actually no, I cannot delete it. I don't think I can delete it, but one thing I can do, or I should be able to do for now, just for now, is just change the visibility. There you go. So let's turn off the visibility and just compile. So what that will do now, you're about to see, that will do now is if I play, now I don't have the character and I have the head right here, right? And all of the movements, all of the controllers, all of the things are still connected to this character. So I can jump, I can move around. Have you seen this game instead of Call of Duty where you get like any asset and you just sort of like hide with the asset? Well, this is pretty much what they're doing. They're just replacing a character like a blueprint or something with the mesh that you are trying to hide, and then you just like move around the world and just like position yourself wherever you want to hide yourself, right? So yeah, prop hunt, yeah, that one. So this is what I'm doing right here. If I want this thing to move and to animate and to change the walk cycle and everything, I need to have the mesh, the skin mesh, the animations. And for animations, you're going to need an idle animation. You're going to need a walking animation. You're going to need a side animation, one side, like left side, right side, a turn animation. So you need a bunch of animation. And I can actually show you where the animations are to control all of this. But you will need to replace all of those with the animations for your character in order to move it on your world, right? But if you just have like the T-pose or the V-pose and you just want to like move it around like this, there you go. Like the only thing you need to do is replace it or add it to the character component, and this guy's just gonna be like floating around. So let me show you where that like movement is here on the input. That's the input action. Where is it? So this is the mapping. So this tells us which button does what. For instance, jump, as you can see right here, uses spacebar. Move uses the arrows, things like that. That's the mapping. These are the inputs as well. Where are the animations? Here. There you go. So here we have this thing called an animation blueprint, and this is the animation blueprint for Quinn. So this is Quinn right here. And then Quinn, there should be something called an animation interface. And on the animation interface is where we have, yeah, there you go. Awesome. So as you can see, this is one of the animations right here. This is the idle animation right here, right? This is the run forward animation. And this is the walk forward animation. And then we should have something called, should be this one. Where is it? There's something called a state machine. Oh, is it inheriting it from the, it seems like it's inheriting from, yeah, from Manny. Interesting. So Manny, which is the male character, there you go. So as you can see, the event starts and it checks what is happening. You set the velocity for the character, you set this, and this is, oh, this is awesome. This is the this is where all of the magic happens in terms of the movement of the character. This is called the state machine. So the state machine, as you can see right here, this is the main state machine. There's another state machine right here for locomotion. If I go here to the main states, it's a very simple logic, but at the same time, it's like an interesting way to approach this. So the way this works is it checks what is happening, and it says, oh, right now you're in locomotion. And because you're in locomotion, I'm going to be playing a specific animation for this. If you were to change from locomotion to, for instance, a jump animation, something's going to change over here. The state of the character is going to change, and what that's going to do is it's going to change the animation that you want to see, right? And the character is going to look like he's jumping. Then if when you start falling because of gravity, the animation is going to change to falling, and then you're going to go into a fall loop. And once the fall loop finishes, you're going to jump into a land animation, and you're going to jump back into the locomotion. So these are logic gates, pretty much. These are like selections that Unreal is doing to decide how or which animation should be playing at this moment to give you, well, the result that you are looking for, depending on what's happening with the character, right? And you can go inside of any of this, and it's going to tell you, yeah, right now use the cash pose locomotion, right? So every single one of this has a specific like thing that's happening. It's checking for different elements and different things. So that's the thing. If you want to have your own character do this, you can reuse this whole thing. You can reuse the whole like logic to it, but you need to at least replace the animations so that they match the characters that you're gonna have. If it's a humanoid character, you can use another method that's, again, very technical, that allows you to remap all of the animations. Like if the bone structure of your character is the same bone structure as Manny right here, you can transfer the animation from one to another and make it a little bit easier for you. But if you don't have that, let's say you're doing, again, like a creature or something, you are gonna have to build the animations for the creatures so that they do whatever you need. So yeah, I want it for human characters like soldiers. Yeah. If the character is very similar, very humanoid, and you're using the human IK like naming convention system for your rig, then you should be able to just like literally map all of the animation, and it should like move pretty much the same. But that's the general idea behind this whole process for like animation transfer for the character. It's a fun one. It's fun. If you like programming, it's a fun process, to be honest. It's a fun process. It's technical, very technical. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but there's a lot of documentation online about it. So as long as you follow the steps properly, you can get a very nice result. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Do you texture the rocks you have in Unreal with high-level textures because of their size? Yes. So those textures that I had right there, or those rocks that I had right there, we were using a technique called material layering, right? So you layer materials with high-level textures, and then you use masks to drive where you're going to have certain like details or certain elements. But yeah, you would use something like high-level textures so that you can have a consistent texel density, right? Yeah, so not bad here for this character for like an hour of work so far. I want to add something more interesting. I'm trying to think what. Don't really want to add a rich. Might not be a bad idea. How does tiling texture work on large environments? Are the masks set up in the engine? That's just painting. You can paint with vertex painting. That's one way to do it. You can actually have UVs. Like they're gonna be a little bit blurry depending on the size of the element, but you can have UVs drive where the masks are gonna be. You can actually have multiple UV sets, which is what I recommend for that kind of like stuff. Hey, I want to make some short film based in Warcraft. I'm doing it in Blender right now, but do you recommend to learn Unreal for something like that? Definitely, yes. Yes, because the render is going to be a lot faster. It's real-time rendering, right? So you're not going to have to waste time waiting for the render to finish. And it's going to give you a good result. I worked on a commercial, mentioned this before, Diablo Immortal a couple of years ago. And they did the render inside of Unreal Engine. It was very fun. And it's very fast, right? Again, you don't have to like wait for the render to finish. It's literally you just hit play and you render the sequence, and it's very, very fast. Very powerful as well. The only thing that I will tell you there, Bart, be careful with copyright. If it's a fan film, you probably won't have any issues, but if you start like trying to publish it or something, yeah, things can get complicated, so just be safe. Most big studios nowadays, most big companies, especially like big game companies, they have their own like permissions for that kind of stuff. Like I remember League of Legends, like for cosplayers and things like that, they allow everything as long as it's not monetized and things like that. So can you teach us Unreal? I've shown some Unreal stuff. The thing about Unreal is that it's a different kind of like teaching process. It's very technical. So we will have like more information and more videos about Unreal. But is there a specific thing that you want to learn about Unreal, Nata? Is there a specific like skill or part of it? Because I know some of them. I don't know all of them. Yeah, even if you made everything yourself, it can be a problem. Remember that it's not about who makes it. It's about who owns the IP, right? So you don't own the IP for Warcraft. The IP is Blizzard's, right? So that's actually a very good like question, and a lot of people tend to get confused about that. So it's not about who made it, it's about who owns it, right? So let me give you like the super basic version. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but this should give you a little bit of an idea. Every single thing that exists in the world is either on the public domain or it's owned by someone, right? If it's on the public domain, you are free to do whatever you want. That's for the copyright. But there's another thing called the trademark, and the trademark never expires. So the trademark is the ability for a company, or sorry, like it's the right for the company to protect whatever it is that they're doing, right? So very famous one, right? Like the Mickey Mouse one from the Mickey Mouse copyright. So as you guys know, a couple of years ago, this version of Mickey entered the public domain. So you can do whatever you want with this character right here, right? Like this character is free for everyone to use. But you can't do like this is where it gets like really, really tricky, right? You can't claim that you're doing a Disney thing. You can't claim that you're doing a Mickey Mouse thing. So if I want to, for instance, sell t-shirts with this design right here, I can do it. I'm free to use this design and it's perfectly fine. No one's gonna sue me or whatever. But the moment I, for instance, let's say I want to make a restaurant, right? And this restaurant is going to be like this, like black and white cartoon theme, and I'm going to call it Mickey's like hamburger restaurant. That's an issue because that it's infringing on the trademark. So that's where it gets problematic, right? So that's that can be, again, like the problem for you. Again, if it's a fan film, like usually you're not gonna get into an issue. But the moment, like, let's imagine, right, like that your film becomes a very, very famous, Bart, and you are using some characters from Warcraft and you're changing the way they are portrayed, right? Like maybe you make some of them, I don't know, like very, like the personality just changes drastically. If that film, even if it's a fan film, starts affecting the way people are perceiving the original franchise, that's when you can get into a problem, right? Like they can say you're like a cease and desist and things like that, because you could be damaging the way someone is perceiving that particular character. Like you might be confusing people, might confuse your stuff with something that's legit or canon, right? And that's where things get like problematic. So again, I'm not a lawyer. You should be fine. Like I don't think there's gonna be an issue, to be honest. But just be careful about that, okay? Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky, that kind of stuff. Here's another example, and I actually read about this recently because I was thinking about doing something like that. Every single mythology in the world, it's completely like free. Like you can do, like if you want to do your own game with Thor as your main character, and you want to make your own game with like all of the Greek gods, for instance, or all of the Nordic gods, like God of War, right? You can do it. Like you're free to do a game that uses the Nordic mythology, because every single god from that mythology is free for everyone to use. It's public domain. However, you cannot use the designs that are already out there, because those designs are trademarked. So if you want to make Thor's hammer cannot look like Thor from Marvel. You cannot have this blonde, super buff guy with the red cape and the chainmail armor and like all of the specific things about Thor. You cannot do that, because again, that's protected, right? Like that's the trademark from Disney. Same thing, you cannot do Thor like they did for God of War. So that's why the version from God of War looks so different from the version from Marvel, because they need to create their own design in a way that makes it unique and that does not infringe on Disney's design, on Disney's trademark. Yeah, exactly. You need to remodel the whole thing. Yeah, and that's where it gets tricky, because there's a limit on how far you can deviate from a specific character's description, right? Until it doesn't look like the character anymore. I was sort of like bouncing this idea around with, for instance, a Gollum, right? So Gollum first appearance was in The Hobbit, which I believe was 1937 or something like that. So in 10 years or in 15 years, Gollum, the character Gollum, is going to be of the public domain. So you can make your own version of Gollum. But if it looks too much like the weather version of Gollum, if it looks too much like any of the other versions of Gollum that have been used by people who have owned the IP or the permission for the IP, you're going to get into an issue. You are going to have to be very original and very smart about how you approach something like that in order to create a character that is unique enough but still looks like Gollum, right? That's where it gets tricky. But yeah, it's really interesting. I'm going to give you a couple of other ones, like Cthulhu, right? Like Cthulhu from Lovecraft, that's public domain. Sherlock Holmes, that's public domain. Every mythology is public domain. So there's a lot of things that you can do with public domain stuff, but you need to be original about it. Like you cannot copy someone else's design. I'm having issues with flat lighting in my outdoor scene. Does anyone have tips on how to make the lighting look more dynamic and realistic? Is that in Unreal or in what software? Yeah, it's a shame, but at the same time, it's fair. I think it's fair. The fact that there's like protections for people who have created like really cool things, right? Retargeting our custom character to UI mannequin with animations. Yeah, it might be a good video. Again, the thing is, it's a very technical video. It's not entertaining. It's very, I don't want to say boring, but it's just very technical. It's like click here, click that, make sure this is set up properly, make sure this is like properly calibrated over here. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like necessarily difficult, but it's just like a lot of steps, and I know how the algorithm works, so unfortunately not a lot of people are going to be resonating with that kind of like content. Yeah, there's like all of that, like copyright and trademark laws are really interesting. But that's why, for instance, have you seen the updates on the Power World versus Pokemon like debate? That's why Power World is being able to get away with a lot of the stuff that they're doing, because they're playing really smart, and you can't copyright or trademark like generic things. Like, for instance, I cannot copyright or trademark the story of a young orphan who becomes the hero of the realm by being the best swordsman. Like that's so generic, and there's so many books and stories about that. Like that's not like copyrightable. Like that's just like a very basic plot, right, for any story. I can copyright the design of the sword, the design of the realm, the design of the character, the design of the magic system, right? So all of those things are definitely copyrightable if I make them original enough. But yeah, you cannot copyright like really obvious things. Slightly off topic. Yeah, always good to research, Zach. Yeah, especially if you're going to be dealing with like things that can be risky. Like for instance here, like this alien right here. Like I'm not like affecting anyone. Like it's my own idea. It's completely original. There might be some elements that I'm like consciously or subconsciously sort of like taking from things that I've seen or liked. But as long as it's original, I'm fine. Like there's no way someone can come in and sort of like sue me or whatever, right? But if I was doing a fan art of I don't know, like a Master Chief or whatever, that's a problem. That can be problematic because I don't know that. I don't own that IP. Let's see. Slightly off topic, but is it a bad idea to have hard surface object with sharp edges like a cube and sculpting details on it to make a displacement map? No matter what, I keep getting artifacts. Yeah, you're probably getting artifacts because when you're using displacement, you need to have a lot of geometry. So you need to subdivide your low poly mesh or your original mesh a lot of times at render time, so that all of that detail that you are displacing can displace properly. If you're not doing that, if you're not displacing the detail properly, that's when you're gonna get artifacts. I usually don't like having like super hard edges on my low poly stuff because again, that's where the displacement breaks. Isn't it good to show that your characters work smoothly in engine? Yes, of course it's always a good idea, but to be honest, as a character artist, probably the only thing that you need to do is show the character in engine, like just everything connected in engine, maybe just having like a very simple like breathing animation. That's it, because you are not going to be in charge, again in a studio, in a production, you're not going to be in charge of implementing the character in the game. You're just going to be in charge of creating the character. Someone else, animators, riggers, tech artists, they are the ones that are going to be in charge of like making sure that everything works properly. So it's not really your responsibility as a character artist. Yes, definitely, Zach. Definitely. Whenever you're going to start a project, it is a good idea to ask for permission. Unfortunately, some people are really like not present online as much, so you can't get a hold of them. My advice is, if you can't get the permission like explicitly, of course, always mention who the artist is when working on the piece. And once you finish it, credit him and let them know, right? Like let them know that you've used their concept. I've only had, in all of this like 16 years that I've been a 3D artist, I've only had one situation where one of my students got a message from the original artist, and the original artist was like, hey, I don't want you to use the concept. Like, I don't want you to showcase that you did this in 3D. And hey, well, that's perfectly valid. Technically, from a fair use perspective, you could say, well, okay, screw you, I'm just gonna like keep it here, right? But you usually want to be nice to people and say respect their wishes. But again, like from thousands of people that I've seen use concepts, there's only one situation where someone has gotten a message saying that they did not want their stuff to be used. So yeah. Let's see. I will say depends on the scale of team. Coming from a long-time technical artist, indie AA teams are now expecting characters to handle baking and low poly work before handing. Oh yeah. No, as a character artist, you need to be like definitely baking and low poly work, definitely. Yeah. I meant the integration with the engine. Like I've never been in a team or seen a team where the character artist is expected to do the integration inside of the engine as well. Like with all of the animation blueprints that I show you and stuff. No, like that's very tech artist oriented. But if you're like a solo dev, yeah, of course you're gonna have to do that, right? In that case, how did I create of things like us starters do it? For example, since those that fan films are from Warhammer and everyone know them. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to give like false information here. I'm not sure how they're getting away. There is, again, in copyright law, there's this thing called fair use. Fair use is when you use something as part of a specific category and you're fine. Let me give you an example. If I'm teaching a class, right, and I'm teaching a class about like the animation history or the history of animation, I will be showing like snippets of like Toy Story and The Lion King and the early Disney films, right? Like I'm gonna be showing these little pieces so that people can see how animation was being done like 70, 80, 50 years ago. That falls under fair use because I'm not using those pieces of Disney's IP to make money by selling them or whatever. I'm using them as part of my teaching curriculum to make a point. So that usually, again, it's fine. But if I'm, for instance, let's say, selling a course, right, of the history of Disney animation, and the course is all about me like explaining and like breaking down the animation of Disney, that's definitely dangerous. Why? Because I'm not just using it as a simple example of the whole thing as part of my teaching process. I'm actually selling a product that uses a lot of like content from Disney without their permission, right? That's the problem. That's when it becomes problematic. And that's when you need to be very careful. Abe, I'm about to get your ZBrush for iPad tutorial. Are the videos downloadable or we need... No, you do need net connection. You do need net connection. That's how the site works. And it's also to protect a little bit against piracy. So yeah, you need to be online to watch them. How do you set the brush preview? What brush preview? What is the workflow you suggest for an animation that has non-realistic style shader? Like hand-painted? Yeah, I would recommend hand-painted. If he's a good illustrator, like if he knows like how to draw and paint like nicely, definitely hand-painted. Have you seen the radial menu penny pull? Yeah, that looks very sick. That looks very sick. Yeah, Pablo Munoz, another amazing ZBrush artist. He's teasing a radial menu for ZBrush. I think it's a tool he developed, and it looks pretty cool. Definitely gonna try it out. How do you get that alpha on the center of the brush? What alpha? The square alpha? This alphas? These are the alphas. You can just change the alpha right here. I forgot what the paintbrush icon is. You mean this ones right here on the bottom? Like the shortcuts? Or, I'm not sure what you mean. On your cursor? But my cursor doesn't have anything. Right now my cursor only has an outer red ring, an inner red ring, and the little like your brush has a scratchy preview. Sure what you are seeing. Oh, now I see what you mean. I don't know. No, I see what you mean. I'm not seeing it. That's funny. That's actually really funny. It's on the OBS thing. I'm seeing on the OBS thing, but it's not on my preview. Like on my tablet, I'm not seeing that. I think it's just I think it's just like some sort of bug. Yeah, it's just like an artifact or something. That's not supposed to be. Like I'm not seeing that. Like that's not real. It's OBS like doing something there. It's really weird. Yeah, no, that doesn't exist on my on my preview here on the real preview. Yeah, I'm guessing it's something related to OBS, to be honest. Can I get your ZBrush layout, the latest one? Yeah, sure. It's on the Discord links. I'll share it in just a second. I don't think I've changed anything from that one. Thank you for the follow, my friend. Flying Sloth 92. It's a fun name. Just want to say I love the hand-painted character course. Feels like painting my own costume mini. Yeah, right? Yeah, that was one of my favorite courses to make. Really enjoyed making that one. For instance, that one talking about like copyright and stuff. The concept that we use for the hand painted course was by Labros Panosis. And what I did is I reached out to him. It's like, hey man, this is what I want to do. I saw your concept. I'm gonna be doing a course, like this is paid. Can we collaborate? And he was like, sure, let's go for it. And he allowed me to use the concept. So that's it. Like once you get the permission, like he's literally like giving away the like the, not the trademark, but the like the copyright. Like I get the permission to use the concept. So yeah. Do you have any new courses in the works? Yes, we're working on one course. I hope that we can get it out soon, and I'm gonna start working on another course very soon as well. No, he did not ask for that. I offered, but he was like, no, I just want to give it away. Like you're free to use the concept. I've worked with other artists, and they've either asked for a flat fee for me to use the concept, or what's the word, or some sort of like percentage, right? But no, in this case, Labros, he was like, he actually said that he knew me and he knew the stuff that I was doing. He's like, dude, I love what you're doing. I love the way that you teach. So feel free to use any of the concepts that I have on my ArtStation that are mine, right? Not the ones that he used for World of Warcraft, but the ones that he created himself. And that was freaking amazing. Can you make video hand-painted normals for hand-painted textures? Yeah, we can talk about that. I don't use it as much, to be honest. I feel like it doesn't, like, it adds a little bit of a detail, right? Like, it definitely changes the way we perceive things a little bit, which is fine. But I feel like the hand-painted part is way more important. How was your experience when you were in Nomen? Oh, I loved it, man. Some of the best years of my life. It was like, I enjoyed my time at Nomen so much. I only had one bad experience with a teacher, and he was eventually fired, and we even got like a reimbursement for that class because he was like a really bad teacher. But every single person I met there was amazing. So cool. Like I enjoyed, like, again, I enjoyed it. I know there's gonna be some people out there that say like, no, my time at school, either Nomen or somewhere else, was not as good. But personally, I loved it. 3D artists are usually cool about using their concept in the US. Yeah, everyone is. Like, it was funny. Yesterday, I got tagged on Instagram, and someone, it was another content creator. He was explaining things about bakes, and he was using my axe, the axe from the Blender course. He was just saying, this one right here. Where is it? See, he was like, oh, I think the reel started something like, are you struggling with having clean bakes? Check these things on your UVs. And then he was explaining some important things about UVs, and he was using this axe right here as part of the explanation. And normally I would be like, or like, not me, but normally people would be like, oh, dude, you're stealing. I was honored. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, he's using the tutorial to teach like parts of the things that I teach on the course. That's great. Like, I love it. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. And someone called him out. I was like, hey, dude, this is not your axe. This is Abe's. It's like, oh, yeah, Abe is very cool. And I didn't even comment or anything. Like, that's fine. That's fine. Like, most of us as artists, like, if people are enjoying our content, we're fine with it, right? The only times where I'm really, like, not sad or like depressed or anything, but like, it definitely is like, oh, that's a shame, is when I see that people are like pirating the course. It's like, oh, well, yeah, that sucks. But you know, that's how it works. That's how the internet works. Isu Hoskan made the tool. Yeah. I actually have it right here. Let me show it to you guys. Do here, file, our recent projects. Let me do, what can we do? Let's just do a sample. Do the Toth. So someone said right there, Isu Hoskan, which we've showcased on multiple portfolio reviews. I think she was one of the first ones that submitted for portfolio review a couple of years ago. She has been doing great work, great freaking work on hand-painted stuff. Really, really freaking good. And she recently released this tool right here. So let me show it. Let's add just the material first. There you go. So as you see right here, we have this character. Very simple sample, right? Like the frog right here. Turn off the shadows. There you go. This is a smart material that I made. It's just like a basic gold. Technically, this works a little bit better with hand-painted stuff, but even without hand-painted, you can get something. So if we go to the normal map information, you're gonna see that we have this, like a very traditional normal map that describes the surface of the element, high points, low points. It's just like the basic stuff, right? So if we go here to her tool, it's called the AVN Painterly Normals. We need to set up the texture set. And once that is set up, the only thing we need to do is on the generators here, we have this automatic one. It's a smart material, and we just drop it on the top. And this is what it does. See that? So it takes the information from your color channel, and it uses it to influence and change a little bit how your normals look. So the main question is going to be, well, how does that affect the element? And the answer is it changes how light behaves, right? Like we know the normal map changes the way the light behaves with the element. It changes the way that light interacts with it. So without this, for instance, you can see here on the sphere, it's a very smooth normal map. Like the light is just like traveling very, very smoothly across the surface of this sphere. But if we use her little generator here, her little like tool right there, it changes it. So now, instead of having a smooth normal map on the sphere and light traveling smoothly across the whole thing, it breaks a little bit. So it's gonna push in one direction in one place, it's gonna push in a different direction in another way, and it adds a lot of like this very interesting like normal look where it it just breaks the surface a little bit. It's a very good way to add a little bit of that like visual interest. You can see it right there. So it's a very, very nice tool. This is again by Aisu Hoskan. Check her out. Check her Instagram out. If you want to get the tool, it's available on her Gumroad. It's very affordable, by the way. So if you are into like this stylized, non-photorealistic like renders, it's a really good way to do it. For instance, here I have another generator. This is giving me some like hand-painted style effects, right? So as you can see, this has this like hand-painted style things right there. And now if we incorporate, like without that detail, the element just looks very smooth, very sort of like clean, very like, let's say perfect maybe. The moment we introduce this thing right here, it breaks, it shifts where the light hits the element, and it just makes it look a little bit more interesting. I want you to look, for instance, at the arm right here. So without this one, the light, as it travels through the arm, it travels in a very sort of like smooth, like predictable pattern, right? Like it just rotates in this like direction right there. And if we turn on the filter right there, see how it breaks, like very, very crazily. That's it's a stylistic choice, of course. It's a very, very nice like a stylistic choice. There you go. And there's one thing that I really liked about this generator, and that's the fact that it has the option to use the albedo to change the roughness as well. So if we turn that on, the roughness is also going to influence by the values of your albedo map. So it's going to sort of like adapt them a little bit more. Really, really cool. Again, like really, really nice tool. Definitely check it out. And again, so everyone's aware of what's happening. This is what's happening right here. So this is the original like normal map information, and this is what the element does. And there's like sliders and controllers and things like that. Let me see if I can get you the link, guys. Let's help Aisu here. Aisu Hoskan. Here. Go. So it's this one right here. Shared it on YouTube, and I'm sharing it on the on what's the word, on the Twitch. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the software. It's really, really good again, and it's really, really affordable. $7 for me right here. I think it's like it adapts to the country, maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, $7 for this like really cool tool. Really nice, and it's going to give you some nice effects. And again, there's options here. For instance, this one right here is the controller. So if I need to exaggerate this a little bit more, I can like really like crunch this up, really generate some like really intense effects. For instance, something like that. Like this is really crazy, of course, but if we go to the material now, normals are going to behave really, really interestingly, right? So again, all of this is controlled with this like influences right here. And it's a good way to make something look a little bit more like non-photorealistic. Really cool tool. It has my seal of approval. Oh, great job, great job.
Hey Ave, can you suggest pen displays for ZBrush? Yeah, I can. Oh man, we're about to finish the stream by the way, guys. I got some stuff to do.
A couple of friends of mine are getting married in in an hour, so I'm gonna go and we need to go and sign the papers and stuff. So pen displays, there's mainly 3 brands out there, and it depends on your budget and where you're located. The premium one, let's say, is Wacom, of course. It's definitely pricey. I haven't used one of this recently. I used to work with a Cintiq a couple of years ago when I was a teacher. They had one of them on the lab, and it was pretty cool. So the Wacom Cintiq ones are really good. And then you have Huyons, of course. So that's the one that I'm currently using. I'm using a Huion Canvas 19 Pro, which I really like. It's really, really nice. So Huion is very, very good. And the other brand that I've heard that it's also good, I have not tried it either. I would love to, but I haven't had the chance, is XP Pen. So XP Pen is another competitor. It's also a little bit affordable. XP Pen and Huion are the affordable ones. They're Chinese. I believe both of them are Chinese. So that makes them, of course, a little bit more affordable. But they're really good quality. The tablet that I'm using right now, I've been using it for the past year. Haven't had any issues except for drivers. Drivers are sometimes a little bit finicky, and you don't get exactly sometimes they fail and you just need to reinstall them or reset them. But yeah. Do you have any advice on how to approach a stylized character 2D concept before sculpting? It depends. What exactly do you need help with in terms of the approach? Because we do cover that on the pirate course, on the Undead Captain course. It's mainly about silhouette. You need to make sure that you're really, really respecting the silhouette and the spirit of the character to get the best possible result. But if you are respecting the silhouette and the proportions, then you're gonna have a good result. Yeah, it's a good tool, and you can still paint. I didn't show you how to paint. I've just recently been playing with that, but yeah, it's a good tool. I had a lot of driver issues with Huion, but I've been working with XP Pen tablets in the last 7 years and not a single issue. Oh, yeah, I really need to test them. If anyone knows anyone at XP Pen, tell them to give me a call. We'll be happy to do a comparison here, Huion versus XP Pen. Who wins? If your Wacom is no longer supported Ghost Gardening, check the open tablet driver. It's like a group of people who are trying to keep tablets alive, and I tried it. It didn't work perfectly with this tablet right here, but I'm guessing with older tablets it might be a little bit easier to make it work. So you might want to give it a shot. I have an older XP Pen 20 inches and it bugs with the Windows 11. Yeah, I've heard same thing from both sides. Some people say Huion are the best. I really like them. I've been using them for years now. Some people say XP Pen are better. Some people say Wacom are way better. Wacom are more pricey though. That's the only issue with Wacom. This tool can be used in AAA studios as Riot Blizzard. Technically, yes, but you will need to get the studio license. So she is offering this studio license right here, so that you can use it in commercial projects. So technically, yeah, it could be used. I hate the name Huion. It means bad word in my language. Really? That's interesting. I'm pretty sure Riot and Blizzard, if they're using a similar technique, they're gonna have their own proprietary tools. That's very, very common as well. Once you get into a studio, they have their own scripts and they have their own alphas, their own base meshes, stuff like that, in order to avoid any issue with copyright infringement, as we talked earlier today, right? Or any trademark issues and things like that. So, but yeah, if you're in an indie studio and you want to use Aisu's tool, feel free to get the studio license. You can also message her, I think, on Instagram. She's very cool. Thank you for the follow, Melodine. Or Melodine. Well, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Not bad for a chill sculpt right here. I kind of want to give him an armor or something. Maybe we'll continue this character later on. But yeah, thank you guys for being so chill today. As I mentioned earlier, it hasn't been the best of weeks, but I'm always happy to be here. I was actually really struggling to start the stream. I was like, oh, I'm really not feeling like it. It's like, let's do it, because I know the community's got my back. I knew you guys were gonna be really chill and really cool with it, so thank you. Really gives me a lot of like energy back. I'm gonna take probably a couple of days to just rest a little bit, get my mind off of the bad energies, the bad vibes, and start next week with all the motivation. Yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah, thank you very much, my friends. Thank you, everyone. I hope you also have a great day. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get some breakfast. Starving. And yeah, make sure to stay tuned. We're gonna have more shorts, more information. Our anniversary is coming out very soon, so if you want to help, you can definitely help with a little subscription here in ZBrush. I want to see if we can get to 80k subs by the time of our anniversary. After that, we're just gonna be 20k away from the coveted silver button. So thank you, my friends. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Do some 3D, play some games, have some fun. Be safe, please. And well, that's pretty much it, my friends. Don't forget, always learning, always improving. I'll see you back on the next one. Bye-bye.